do you call the Flintstones if they were black?
I don't know, Jeff.
Are we recording?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm Jeffrey.
I'm Will.
I'm Pat.
I'm Ryan.
All right.
I'm nervous.
I am also
I'm
nervous.
not. I'm very much in
It's
anticipation.
called a Blackstones, right?
No.
God, that would be lazy.
Oh no! Don't do that. I know where you're going with this.
I don't.
I don't either. What's going on?
Now I gotta know.
He cannot drop an N bomb on the podcast.
I know where you're going.
Yeah. There you go.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Guys, what do you call a black guy flying a plane? A pilot, you fucking racists.
All right. Mic check complete.
It was nice and smooth.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So what are we doing here, Jeffrey?
We're doing everything except for talking about Twitter and Star Wars.
What's going on with Twitter and Star Wars?
That's the thing of every show, so hence that's why he was saying we're not supposed to talk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Evidently, that is the one thing off limits.
Well, no, it wasn't off limits. We were making a list to preclude those from being on the limit.
Oh, okay. So we're not allowed to talk about Twitter and Star Wars
That's
anymore.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know about anymore, but I mean, it has to be like big stuff.
Right. Yeah.
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 It's not just me like causing trouble or.
Ranting.
If you do get banned, that gets to make the show. Especially in this atmosphere.
We
You
put
have-
that behind the paywall.
I'm not currently banned. I'm reply deboosted, but that doesn't mean that I'm banned.
Did they just change you to that? Or was that what you carried on from once you got
I slip in and out all the time.
So
So
you
it's
just
like
keep
you're on
noticing that
probation,
line.
and then you get off probation, and then you
Oh,
get
yeah, I
drinking
get-
again, and then you're
yeah.
on probation again.
Half the time I get kicked into reply deboosting. Sometimes I get straight up ghost banned. Sometimes I'm search banned.
What is Ghost Band?
Ghost ban is where you just disappear except to your followers.
How many followers do you have, Jeffrey?
That's really nobody's business.
Okay.
Huh. Interesting.
Is it more than 20?
Well, is it a surprise high or a surprise?
It's surprised higher than it should be because
Is it above 100?
but it's not above 100.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
No. There's more following than there should be for a burner account. And from some people who have way better things to do than to follow me. There are actually decent names in there that shouldn't be there.
Are these just guys who are like watching you to see what you have to say about the New York Times? And
Well, it's not about the Times, it's about
people who work for the Times.
exactly hang out and see what the Times have to say. The majority of my comments are done in CNN and New York Times' feeds.
And they're following you.
Some guys are.
Huh.
Some guys are like, oh, this guy really likes to stir up shit. I'm gonna see what he does.
Which is fair. I get that.
Like, say, for example, there was. The whole thing was not to talk about.
Well, so what's the hot thing right now?
Well, okay,
So if we're gonna talk about Twitter, you got to get detailed here, man.
there's a number of hot things you can pick on right now. I had some fun when the Roe versus Wade leaks came out. That was good times. Right now, we are approaching a holiday known as Juneteenth.
Oh,
that's right,
yeah,
yeah.
you could really rile some
Oh
stuff
yeah,
up.
actually, isn't that a federal
That's
holiday?
Father's Day.
What?
Juneteenth is Father's Day.
What? No.
Big fucking
put
Earth
them on the same
Father's
day.
Day?
I could have swore that's what I
I believe it was like June 19th.
That's Father's Day.
But does
But
Father's
Father's
Day
Day
is on a
doesn't-
Sunday, right?
Yeah,
It's
it
always
doesn't
on
always
Sunday.
happen.
So it
just
happens to
happens
overlap.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Father's Day is the Juneteenth substitute is on the 20th.
Wait, they got a backup day?
What does that mean?
Because is it an actual day off for some people? So that's what they're like observe.
So it'd be like the Monday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
okay.
Right. So if you work at Denny's, you're working on June 20th.
All right.
Yeah, but that's if you're Christmas or
Yeah.
July 4th, whatever. You're at Denny's, you're still working that day. That's not really saying much.
I think Denny's was the only place that was open on Christmas.
Man, I haven't been to Denny's in a long time.
Yeah, I know, right?
You want to go to Denny's?
Yeah, that's because they all got tax busted. So
Oh, do they not exist anymore?
around here, I think there's one. All the rest belong to the same like Armenian dude who didn't pay taxes.
Huh. I did not even know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So IHOP it is. Or Village Inn. Does Village Inn exist anymore?
No, they
No,
did the same
no, they
thing.
bulldozed all those.
They
Yeah.
went under also.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Even after they put the lunch pail handle on the top of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they still can survive COVID. COVID killed Village Inn.
Yet there is still a Perkins right down there. That's where it is. It's just
No shit, Birkin still exists.
yeah. It's down there on Powers, just a little bit that way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I actually drove by the old one up on Academy.
What is that?
It's like a ABBA eye care place or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They don't give you muffins.
that would be cool. I'm going to get my eye checked just to get a muffin for free.
Right, yeah.
Oh, that's so exciting.
Welcome to Colorado Springs.
It's been like 5 years since my last eye exam, so I'd do it for a muffin.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about just like the simple things that would make you appreciate the experience a little bit.
Well, why I would choose that place versus the other ones? Sure.
Yeah.
You get a free muffin. Yeah.
At ABBA eye care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's that? I'm trying to think. There's a hotel chain where they're always keeping cookies warm for you. So when you come in, they just have those like big warm cookies for you.
Oh, that's Doubletree.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
So you know it. Yeah.
I'm okay with
You
that.
come in and they're always. It's like, yeah, have a cookie.
Have a
Those-
breakfast
They're the
cookie.
big ones.
And
Yeah.
since they like to put
Yeah.
hotels literally right next to each other, I mean, yeah, I guess that would be a difference.
That's what I'm saying. Just like simple things. Like, I'm not saying I miss like the Kmart cafe or anything, but
It wasn't much different than the Target Cafe, is it?
Well, how's that different than getting a wiener at Costco anymore?
that's a good question.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't been in a retail store in 2.5 years. so-
No, you. Dude, I know what you're saying, but I still go to the grocery store every week to still feel like I connect with human beings.
Do you actually go to the actual checkout or do you go to the self checkout?
I go
Yeah.
to the actual checkout when I
It
feel.
depends how much you have.
That's exactly it, because I
You don't
am.
want to be that guy. Right? It's like I have like a
cart.
cartload full, and you're like that asshole who's like, and like, no. If 15 items or less, you can go to self checkout. You got a cart full, you can go to the main checkout.
Yeah,
Oh, see, that's human contact. I'm opposed to that.
dude, it is that, or you sit there and you put your cereal in and it says, "Please put the item in the bag." It's like, I did. So you lift it up and you put
there's
it
that
back.
thing too.
And
Yeah.
then when
okay.
you fill up one bag, you have to move it to another weighted part on the.
Yeah,
That's only
so it doesn't think
Safeway.
all of a sudden you just like took off running.
Walmart does
Yeah.
not care at all about that. Like it does. Like I don't even think there's a scale because you can
Yeah.
literally just beep beep
It is
whatever. and
Walmart.
it doesn't
Walmart's like
care.
you, whatever you
Yeah, if you
grab
wanna
and
steal
run out of
it,
the store
it's
with, they're like,
fine.
fine.
You really
Fuck
don't.
it. It costs us like 50 cents anyway, so like screw it.
What is that? You put down like a
I still,
PlayStation and say you bought one apple.
no, I still remember watching the documentary on when Walmart broke capitalism, and it was the fucking greatest fucking thing because it had to do with Rubbermaid, and at that point, so like
Oh,
Rubbermaid
yeah.
had the Rubbermaid buckets and baskets, all the rubber
Sure,
like,
yeah.
containment structures.
Oh.
And so what ended up happening was at the time of like, so the idea of capitalism was like you make a product and people buy it, or you make a product, people are willing to buy it for whatever certain price you have for it, and if it's not good enough, then you're screwed. And so Rubbermaid was selling their Rubbermaid product, and Walmart came along. And Walmart did the thing where Walmart does, where it's like we want the lowest price on everything. So first, when Walmart first started, it was like we'll take Rubbermaid. Like how much Rubbermaid's like we charge this much for this, and Walmart's like all right, we'll pay that. And then Walmart got so big and bigger and more powerful and bought so much Rubbermaid stuff, Walmart became the main buyer of Rubbermaid. And once Walmart became the main buyer of Rubbermaid, instead of paying Rubbermaid's price, Walmart turned around to him and said, here's what we're going to pay you for it.
Right.
And Rubbermaid said, well, we can't make it for that. And I'm like, well, the tough shit. We're Walmart, and that's all we're going to pay you for it. And we're your main client. And if you don't fucking sell to us, we'll just cut you off, and you're screwed. And your company will die in 2 days.
Yeah.
And so Rubbermaid's like, oh, well, we now have to make our product for this price to sell to you. And so they like fired everybody in the United States. They offshored the products to like China and everything because like we couldn't make it for this price that Walmart would only pay for. And then they did, and so like they ended up having like that's when the whole Chinese market took over and stuff like that because Walmart flipped the script on how capitalism was supposed to work.
I think they did the same thing with toys, didn't they?
Like
Hasbro, where they're like basically there's this giant show every year where like if you're a toy maker, regardless of whether you're Hasbro or Mattel or anything like that, you put your products in front of Walmart.
Yeah.
And then they determine your production. They determine your production cycle.
No, and I have no doubt. Rubbermaid just happened to be the first company they able to do that with, where you flip the script on.
Huh.
Where like we buy your product, but we've become so powerful now we tell you how much you can. Now we'll tell you how much we'll pay for your product. And I'm sure they've done it for other companies too.
Yeah.
But it was the first switch, and it was the idea was Walmart broke capitalism because now all of a sudden the buyer could tell the seller what you can sell it for.
But is that breaking capitalism, or is that just
It's
actually
not.
like
It's
giving
just-
you
it's a part of
access to the
capitalism.
market? Yeah.
No, it's a part of capitalism.
Yeah.
Because Rubbermaid could have said, no, we're going to sell to somebody else and you can go on.
Right. Yeah.
But the whole concept was, the idea is I'm a manufacturer, I make a product, you buy it, this is the price I'm selling it for, as opposed to like, ostensibly the buyer was dictating how much the producer could sell it for.
Well, yeah, and that's why you
And they
switched over
captured
from.
him. But the problem is they captured him because they captured him market-wise. They bought 80% of everything that Rubbermaid made.
Yeah.
And so eventually they could turn the tables on him.
Yeah. And so that's why you don't have Tupperware parties anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
Well,
That's a good thing. We're going to pass that along. It's a win.
But now you have the other products came along. I mean, capitalism is still there, but it was a funny concept where all of a sudden you can take someone and flip the script on them.
There's another famous example of that, and I can't remember what the name of it, but evidently when Walmart was making like a big splash and growing, there was this particular brand of like this huge jar of pickles, right? I don't remember the name of it, but it was like, it wasn't the Walmart brand, but it was synonymous with Walmart. And it was this huge jar of pickles, and people loved it. And it's exactly what you said there, where they got into Walmart because they were cheap and people loved it. And then when it turned out they were the major supplier, it's like, you have to sell these pickles for less.
Yeah.
And they did the exact same thing, and I believe they're gone now.
Well, they did the same thing with Lutz and the cheese balls. So,
Yeah.
the giant jug of cheese balls that
really?
everybody has. Yeah.
They're not great cheese balls.
No, they're terrible.
But they're cheap.
It's like eating Christmas ornaments, man.
Yeah, and you got a lot of them, but yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
So does Walmart have like their own brand? Like a Kirkland or
Yeah, they
Kroger?
do. It's great
Yeah.
value.
Great value.
Okay.
Yeah. I hear their mac and cheese is not to be fucked with.
I haven't tried that. I still
Yeah.
get Kraft.
Yeah.
I know. That's
I just never even tried it.
It's still in a blue box. It's pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I got torched with other macaroni and cheeses like the
Annie's, gross, man.
no.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just that, but you know, when I've decided, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go fancy. I'm gonna go into Velveeta shells and cheese territory.
Just like eating pure petroleum, man.
I do not
Yeah.
like Velveeta shell cheese.
It is awful.
It's
Yeah.
the fifth state of matter. No, the fucking Velveeta. It is. It's because once you
It's plasma.
no, it's not plasma. It's a
Yeah,
thing.
plasma, yeah.
Velveeta is just once you change the temperature of it, and then it still doesn't go back to its original form.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's-
The Great Value macaroni and cheese is pretty good.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't have like the colorful characters on it, the Disney characters and stuff.
The
That's the
fuck does
part
Is that what
the
matters?
hell?
that matters for Olivia,
Oh,
and
she needs dino nuggets too. Yeah.
No, that's an
she
adult
did used
thing.
to like the Dino Nuggets, but now she eats the regular ones. But
Oh, okay. Speaking of dinos, did you go see the movie?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Did you see the movie?
Mhm.
Did you see the movie?
Fuck no.
Good.
I
All right.
will. I'm
It's an
hoping
atrocious
before,
piece of shit.
but I'm sure it'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
we bitched about Jurassic Park a lot. We shouldn't do that either.
No, it's fine.
But
because-
it's out right now. Like
Yeah.
it's literally like the time to bitch about Jurassic.
Did it flip over Top Gun on the
No,
box office?
fuck no.
It did not. Even on its opening weekend,
I
it
don't
did
even know.
not.
I don't even know if it's true or not. I just don't. I just pretend. And Top Gun's much better. Whenever that fucking garbage is.
I'll see Top Gun this Friday with Will.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What I can tell you is, no, Top Gun's the biggest domestic movie so far.
Still? Even
Yeah.
after, yeah, okay.
It beat Doctor
If you want
Strange
to go
too.
at 10 in the morning on Friday.
10 in the morning?
Yeah.
That's like asking me to go at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
What's wrong with you, man?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's fine.
Is the sun up? Fuck that.
So have you seen Top Gun?
Not yet.
No.
No, this weekend. Yep.
You
saw
see it?
Oh yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Fucking awesome.
I was
Is it
hoping
like-
It is the
Rah Rah
best.
America?
It's the best sequel. No, I mean no, it's not like
Oh, okay.
that. I mean it's still very. It's Top Gun. It's the best sequel to the movie Top Gun that could possibly be made.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like it's got the perfect mix of like nostalgia, homage, cheese,
Yeah.
modernization, and oh, dude, the fucking flying scenes are nuts.
Well, and this is all done with jets.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah.
Is
No,
that
it's
CGI?
no. There's probably like I caught like maybe like 3 quick clips that were clearly CGI.
Okay.
And the rest of it, Tom Cruise made sure it's like this is mostly live action, and it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
No,
I remember
it-
seeing like articles where he was mad because the Navy wouldn't actually let him fly an F-18 solo.
no, they wouldn't let him touch the controls. Yeah.
Oh, is that the deal?
Well, they wouldn't let him fly him solo for sure.
Well, yeah,
you
so
can't do
he's
that.
flying
And then
in
they're like, when they're in
trainers.
the plane, they're like, you can't fucking don't touch the controls either.
Yeah, don't do
Yeah.
that.
And, and I get it. I mean, Tom Cruise actually is a pilot.
He's not a fighter pilot though. There's a difference.
I don't know what that means.
A fighter pilot?
I think if you just put a guy in a fighter,
Well, I mean, is he
a fighter pilot?
Yeah, does he fly in a jet and shoot people? No.
Well,
But he flies like P-51s and shit. Like he has those.
right, but no, okay. So like
he just
pilot.
owns it.
Yeah, he's got a
Yeah, he owns a
P-51.
P-51. Actually, and then in the movie, I don't know for a fact, but they show the P-51 he's working on. I assume it's actually probably Tom Cruise.
Might be his, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Danny Glover had a P-38. So,
Danny Glover had a Lightning?
yeah, he did.
Really?
Yeah,
Yep.
it is. Yeah.
Danny Glover flew a plane?
Yeah,
Yep, down here.
yeah, down here. It was here. In the
Colorado
Springs.
Springs?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. He used to live up in the Broadmoor.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You didn't ask.
Right.
Nobody asked.
I didn't know the right question.
I didn't know the question to ask.
Well, the correct question is, does Danny Glover live here? And you never asked that.
You're right.
Yeah, that's true.
No, but anyway, like
Dude, we're gonna start
Top
going
Gun's
down.
fun. You'll love it.
Top
And,
Gun's
and,
good.
and there's no way like Jurassic Park 25 is better than that.
I was hoping to get the D-box seats that actually like move you and do all that kind of stuff.
I asked her if she wanted to do that, and she said no. And I was-
Really?
yeah, and I was
Wait a
kind of
minute,
like,
D-box seats? What is this?
It like moves
They move
you, and you get the sound is like
Yep.
it does surround, so it would sound like it is
Yeah,
literally
it's
flying by your
immersive.
head.
Well, how does it move you?
The seat moves.
The suit moves you.
Every seat in that theater moved. Like, well, I don't think it's every seat in the theater. I think some of them are regular seats, but there are certain D box.
No, I mean the
seats.
D box theater. You like have to buy the D box theater.
They cost
I
a
have
lot more.
Yeah,
But I thought for this it would be.
I
worth
would have
it.
paid for that. I would have done the show had.
So they like right in the middle of the theater, so you get the best screen and everything.
No, the entire theater is D box.
Oh, so the
I
whole
didn't know
like,
if it was the whole
thing
theater
moves.
was.
Yeah, no, so the whole theater is D box.
No, each individual seat moves.
no, the seat moves.
Not the theater.
Oh,
That'd be
okay.
Insane. Holy
But I mean,
crap.
the whole theater has the seats that move. So everybody's seat individually moves separate. And
So
you
it's
have
just
sounds
fucks
on.
with you whenever they do a pan and scan kind of thing, or
I haven't actually gone to one.
I only saw like the preview of one because they had a free, like they have a D box seat out in the lobby, and you
Wow.
get to sit in. And it does like a minute, and so like it'll actually like if you're turning like in a vehicle, it'll like, or if like an explosion hits, like the seat
it'll
does the whole
vibe, yeah.
vibe and all
Huh.
that kind of stuff.
I might have to go see Top Gun with one.
It's not there anymore.
Why would
No,
they pull
they're all
it?
gone.
It's all for now. It's on the Buzz Lightyear thing
Oh,
and
who the fuck wants to see that shit?
and the dinosaurs. Yeah,
Dinosaurs.
I think they just yanked it because Buzz Lightyear comes out this weekend.
Damn. No, I asked Cheryl about it. She didn't want to do it, and I was like, I'm not gonna.
Did she get queasy? Or she just didn't want to spend the extra money for it?
No, it wasn't a money thing. It was the concern. It was the concern.
It's like
about-
this is dumb.
Like I, like I don't want it to take away from the movie thing where you can make something a little bit too gimmicky, where it's like, yeah, it's kind of like.
it seems
Oh,
like
like
movie
3D?
theaters are getting that way. Yeah, like
No, 3D, like 3D. It can. That was just you just make it too gimmicky. You actually take away from the movie. I
yeah.
think that's what she was concerned about, and I was too. Like I wasn't pushing for. I'm like I don't know if I want to do this, and so, and probably at the end of the day, I'd probably been like, I'm glad I saw it first without that, but maybe a second
Now I
time.
want to
probably-
ride.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, you left yourself a backup.
Yeah.
A good excuse for a second run. Yeah.
but now it's gone.
I was so disappointed.
Now
I was
it's
like,
gone.
all right, I'm finally gonna do this.
But I haven't done the D-box either, so I'm
I
not
haven't
sure
either.
how much.
Yeah,
Go see Buzz Lightyear.
my kids have done it with Kelly for one of those things, and Livy
like
didn't
it?
Livy didn't like it.
Why?
It was because it was just too shaky for her. But
Oh,
she's
it's too
she's
much.
tiny, so I mean, it might have been just like
Oh,
almost
she's
ejecting her
small.
out of the seat. I don't really know. So William thought it was pretty cool, but she was just like, I did not like it.
What did Kelly think?
I don't know. I didn't ask her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why talk to your wife?
Yeah. Well, I see that Jurassic World Dominion is still getting like severely review bombed. So apparently it's just a rolling piece of shit.
Dude, the last two before were the most atrocious piece of shit.
So like some of the listicles that I've seen, they're putting this one flat at the bottom. So
Wow.
yeah.
Of the other,
They said you'll like Jurassic Park 3 more than you like this one.
Whoa!
Wait, no. Jurassic Park 3 with Sam Neill.
With Sam Neill.
But
That
what-
was a good movie compared to
the one with
Second
the
one.
is that the pterodactyl one?
Yeah.
yeah.
Pterodactyl one?
Where she just screams the whole movie?
Yes.
Oh God,
Where
that was
what?
Yeah. The one with the Spinosaurus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the woman
In the
in there
Marines.
just screams like
Yeah.
the whole
Like
time.
Taylor, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, she does, but it's better than Jurassic World.
I was pleasantly entertained with both. Well, the
Oh
first
my
one
God, the
with
Chris
Chris
Pratt-
Pratt.
Second one
Chris
is
Pratt,
second
Alan
one,
Terrible.
second one was terrible. The first one I was entertained.
Second one is truly
No, they're
awful.
both- they're
Apparently
both-
they
both
like took all the
horrendous.
plot lines that were developed in that second one and just like blew them all the way out.
God,
So,
they're
yeah.
fucking horrible.
You got to go find the fucking clone child because she possesses some kind of fucking serum, that kills the locusts. That the
Oh
company.
yeah, you told me Locust.
Oh my god, it's fucking stupid, man. So
Bro, do you
Loki?
you want to talk about just like trying to keep a franchise alive with bit players?
yeah,
Okay. Do you know? I'm going to tell you a name, and I'm going to tell you this is a central character in the new Jurassic Park movie.
Chris Pratt.
No. Dodgson. We got Dodgson here.
Yeah, we got Dodgson over here.
He's the central point. He's the guy. Nice
the
hat.
bad
You
guy.
look like
He's
a
the big
secret agent.
bad.
He's the dude
Yeah.
that gives Dennis Nedry the fucking, Barnacle
Oh,
can. can.
Yeah,
Gosh,
and apparently he has
that's
the
right.
Barbasol can again.
Yeah, I saw a commercial was all about Barbara.
Yeah, and so you're supposed to go watch fucking Jurassic Park Cretaceous Crank Camp or whatever it is in order to understand how he got the fucking can. So,
No, man.
right, yeah.
So Dennis Nedry gets, proper molested. Can falls in the muddy water. Tons of mud falls on it. The rain doesn't stop. That can's gone.
Apparently not, man.
No, that can's gone.
Apparently
Because they showed us how much mud fell.
not. I know, but apparently not, man. So,
And that canister is airtight, so
well, and remember, he told people that it only had enough
For a little
coolant for
bit.
like 24 hours. So, but apparently that wasn't the case. I
Wow.
don't fucking know.
I thought it was. I saw the
He
commercial. I thought it
fucking
was
said that in the
different-
movie.
Yeah, I
And
thought it was
yeah.
a different can. I thought
Yeah.
that's why they were bringing it up. Is they,
No.
they
No,
tried to
it's
use-
the can.
It's the
Oh my
can. Yeah,
God.
it's so fucking bad.
How many years is this?
Oh, decades.
in
They
the
had to build a
actual
whole new
show
fucking
line?
park. I mean,
Right.
come on, man, and raise new great big ass dinosaurs.
Well, I mean,
And
Sam
shit.
Neill's still alive. So
Sam Neill is still alive, but he's a little steely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently it's going to be a good movie because he's aged well. I don't know. So, dude, it's like every review that I see is like there was a much simpler movie that you needed to write, which was basically like, oh, there's fucking dinosaurs loose. How about we round them all up and call that a movie? So, So, but apparently not. Apparently they're already like parked on a preserve somewhere in fucking Italy, and now like, oh, people aren't allowed in there, but people went in there anyway, and so you're back on the goddamn island.
did they have a sign that just said "Do not enter"?
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna go see it. So,
What does it say? No. Look, there is an interesting. All right. So, what was the? You mentioned, like, we talked about Jurassic Park a lot, and that's fine, because what I know here is that Jurassic Park is not just a movie or a book. It was an idea.
It was an
right?
idea.
And the whole concept around this, one of the reasons that we all got into this at that time, number one, was because of what our age was. But number two, because the movie had enough of a concept and enough of a scientific backing to almost make you think this could happen.
Right,
Right?
100%.
And they approached it with fun and respect, right? Not to the point where it was just kind of like, all right, here's the movie. This guy looks like he's strong. Oh, better stop it, undercut him, and make the woman look better. All right, 10 more minutes. Better stop him, undercut it, make the woman look better. Okay? That happens once in that movie.
wait, the first one?
Yes.
What now?
Yeah, because
Where the woman looks better or the kids look better?
no,
The
the
kids.
girl. The
It
girl.
was always based upon the kids.
No. I'm not talking about the kids. What I'm talking about is the
blonde girl?
beats of the movie.
Oh,
Okay? Where, like, look, I know that you love Marvel movies. Most Marvel movies at this point are anytime a guy looks good, they've got to undercut it, make him look stupid, and make the girl look awesome. Okay? That's just predictable. But back then, they're like, we have to tell the story first. Here's one throwaway joke about woman inherits the earth. Okay? That happens
okay.
once. But that would happen in a modern movie like 15 fucking times.
okay.
So
Okay? Now, that's all I'm saying here is when Jurassic Park was a movie, it was a new IP. Okay? They had a message to say about fucking dinosaurs. Okay? They didn't stop it to say, well, we got your attention. Let's talk to you about capitalism.
Well, that would be Jurassic World. Yeah.
Yes, they
So-
do. And you know what? There is a brief part where they touch on it where, like,
You're
they-
selling it. You're selling it.
that or the
You're
flea circus.
you're
Right.
selling it. Mommy, look at it, please.
I would disagree. I think the first,
Yeah,
I
but,
think-
like-
I think the first movie touches upon kind of an evil capitalist concept.
Touches.
Well,
No,
yeah,
it
but
does,
like,
it does.
Touches.
But
Right.
I mean, that was back in the days where
it's
where
1993, man.
and we're talking about a time where like nuanced concepts were massaged into things, as opposed to
Right.
beat you over the fucking head with just binary extremism.
And so what it represents to us is you're taking that thing that was new and original to us when it came out, stripped it for parts. Okay, you've stripped it for parts. You put the actual chassis of the movie on cinder blocks, taken the parts you can strip out, and then putting crap in there like I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, you took, but you
The
also
new
took,
one does
like,
have a
the
lesbian
original-
pilot. Black lesbian pilot.
Of course,
Oh, we got 2 or
it has
3.
to.
I don't know, man. Like, so, like, one of the better critiques that I've actually seen is, like, if you actually look at the first run of the first 3, and maybe even the 4th one, Jurassic World, it all centers on kids. And the idea that you're actually, like, you know, a kid, and when you're a kid, dinosaurs are fucking cool and stuff, and then all of a sudden it spins it off into the shit, Tora Bora and whatnot, you know,
Well-
like, where it has to be a larger critique over something that's, like, larger than the imagination of a child. So, and, you know, like, especially in the last movie, no, well, not the one that's out right now, but the one before that,
Oh.
where it's all about, like, oh, fuck, we're going to sell these things, blah, blah, blah.
I know.
And so it's, like, completely beyond where, like, the kids are even remotely the center, except for
Well,
this one girl
and
who's...
you take away the fact from the dinosaurs actually being sympathetic characters. Like the dinosaurs were just like in the first Jurassic Park, the dinosaurs were animals that you gave a shit
Right,
about.
yeah.
Right.
And even Tyrannosaurus Rex was evil and mean, but it was like evil and the mean and still in kind of the wildlife context.
Right, yeah,
Like,
big hungry dog. Yeah,
it was still the lion on the Serengeti, like
right,
trying to find food.
Yeah. That's a good
And
point.
so versus like when you started moving into Indominus Rex and shit, where it's like they're not even sympathetic characters anymore in themselves. Like they're
Right, yeah.
evil, they're Jaws.
Right.
There's no sympathy behind the wildlife.
Oh, that's
The
a good
wildlife
point.
is
It
not
was like
evil.
Jaws.
It is.
It
It's
was
straight
like
up
Jaws. Yeah, that's a really good point.
You
Yeah.
transition from like we created an animal that lives,
Uh-huh.
and then we've shown you how if we live at the same time as them, we just become a little bit lesser on the food chain. But they're not this evil creature demon coming after. It's just an animal that's like trying to eat food and kill us.
Bro, it's
And it moves it into now we've turned it into it's Pennywise, it's Jaws, it's just an evil, awful beast that wants to mutilate you.
but it's so on the nose that in that movie, the T-Rex from the original movie
Saves the day.
has to save the day
Oh,
with
yeah.
a raptor on its back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and
That's
apparently, like, this
not
movie,
so.
there's, like, things that fucking team up to take down the next big bad again.
Right.
Kind of like the Mosasaurus. It's like, oh, well, there's a big bad in the lake that
Yes.
we're going to team up and
Yeah,
take down.
it's-
Yeah, it's
it's
fucking so, like, it's such lazy writing, man.
Well, that's what I'm
It's so
saying.
lazy.
So-
Do it with your own goddamn shit. Stop. No, I'm serious. Like, if you want to make your own stupid IP,
Right,
you know, for
yeah.
this, go ahead.
Yeah.
But this whole thing where it's like, nah, man. All right, check this out. Check this out. We know we kind of went off path. It's like, yeah. It's like, so we're even gonna get those 3 actors back from that last movie, the one that you liked. We're gonna get them back. It's like, really?
That's
Oh,
genius.
shit. That's cool. All right. No, and the way that they make movies now, it's like I would halfway expect one of the characters to come back with the grafted arm of Mr. Arnold.
You got a black guy
Yeah.
in the movie.
I was, but that's what I'm saying. It's like do it with your own shit. I mean, we said Twitter and Star Wars are off limits, okay? But Star Wars is the poster child of bringing back my old stuff, okay? Stripping it for parts, being like, you remember when this dude got kicked in the mouth of this sand mouth? Right? No, he's alive, man. No,
Yeah.
he fought his way. No. He got kicked in, he flew in, he got laughed, the thing burped, he's dead.
Not
It's like,
anymore.
no, go ahead and pick this up. And then you look at that 18 series roster of bullshit they're trying to resurrect. It's like, look, I liked Rogue One. I don't want to see the Cassian Andor series.
No, yeah.
Why the fuck would I care?
Wait a minute, what is this?
One of the like 18 Star Wars projects coming out in the next 2 years
It's Cassian Andor.
is the story of Cassian Andor, a dude who got blown up.
Really?
That's no, and there's plenty more like that.
Fuck all of that, man.
And there's just as many Marvel
Dude,
projects.
it's just
It's
beating the
product.
dead horse to make money at this point.
It's just done with it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no art to that. None.
Other people, you don't like Star Wars anymore? Actually, no, I don't. You know?
No, Star Wars unlike me.
Yeah, right, yeah. So,
No, it's just turned into a product to just mass market and sell. It has no.
Dude, remember how the
Originality or creativity to it.
for years and years the laughing stock of the series was the Star Wars holiday special.
Yeah, that probably.
never saw
You'll look
that.
back on that now and say, "This is cool."
It's
I didn't know there was a.
oh yeah,
Yeah, Star Wars Christmas special with
holiday
the Ewoks.
special.
Yeah.
It was.
What?
Oh yeah,
Dude, it's like fucking 1987.
they had the cast and the
nothing.
B. Arthur's in it.
B. Arthur's in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
From Golden World?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What does she do?
What are you talking
She
about?
plays like a
The
side.
storyteller?
No, she plays like a in the background kind of like for a skit. That's what it is. It's like skits.
It's a skit.
What?
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Google it, man. It's on YouTube.
You couldn't find
Yeah.
it for
But
the
I mean,
longest time. They tried
like-
to bury it.
Like Ewoks and
Oh yeah.
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 Were they bringing
just doing like
presents and
SNL skits or shit.
All holiday related shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like if you were to take A Christmas Carol and Star Wars it up. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It was the laughing stock of the
Yeah.
franchise.
It's got
for a
Mark Hamill
long-
in it and everything.
Yeah, every one of the cast members is
Fuck
there.
yeah, all of them are
Yeah,
there.
they're all in
Wait,
it.
like Harrison Ford?
Yep.
Yes.
and-
Yeah.
What?
Lando's in it. Yep.
And Carrie Fisher's in it.
Carrie Fisher's in it.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I've got to see this. I don't know.
You couldn't see it for like 20 years. They were
Yeah.
embarrassed. But it's downright classy compared
It's
to the shit
good.
they're putting out now. It's so,
The stuff that's out.
so
there,
much to the
man.
point.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
that's
shit.
one of the things they're doing is another Star Wars holiday special. But you can't recapture that because it was fucking stupid the first time around. But it's like, yes, but we see the iron. No, you don't.
No, that was back in the day when we said, "Oh shit, this is commercialized." You know,
Absolutely. It was the same. It was like when I watched the California Raisins holiday
Oh.
special.
Oh
I didn't see
Lord,
that.
yeah,
We all did
Yeah.
because they were clay. But it's a commercial product.
yeah.
I didn't see that either.
That's when they were still on a radio.
Raisins did a holiday special?
Absolutely, yes. Here we go, waffling.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And there were
They had a
dinosaurs. in
bunch
it.
of songs.
Yeah, they sure did, because they're the California
Yeah.
Raisins.
No, they did sing.
Dude, how much product was there just to move? Why did they ever need a rude dog in the Dweebs cartoon in the first place?
I don't
They
know.
just
what
sell
that
those
is.
stupid shirts.
I don't know what that is either.
I remember that. a
Yeah, I
little
don't
bit.
remember that
I
one.
feel so left out of most of this now.
Well, yeah,
I wouldn't
you
have come
go
up with
check out
these things
Star
in a
Wars
million
one,
years.
yeah.
if I was told to. Like,
Jesus.
This is the classic. I got a gun to your family's head. Yeah.
Don't make me shoot this dog.
But how sad is that? Like commercialization was so jokey back then, and now it's like, well, actually, it's completely.
No, it's-
well,
now
he-
it's
he-
awesome compared to what we have to. Deal
No,
with
now it's central
He told me it
IP.
was
yeah.
just a straight kill Netflix.
That's my argument. Is that Disney is trying to go for the jugular, and they just want product.
So they just want
Because
you
they
to
don't
only
have enough
have
exposure.
Well, I
Yeah.
can see that, but I mean, arguably Netflix did the same thing.
Well, I'm not saying Netflix doesn't deserve it.
No, I'm just. Here's the question I've had recently: is there a point in human development in human society that we've seen all the movies that can be made, we've read all the books that can be written, we've listened to all the songs that can be written, and the only thing left is rehashing everything in different fashions?
Well, yeah, that's been around for 2,000 years. Man.
It is,
Right.
but I mean, are we hitting a pinnacle of that?
No, because you always have a new generation that's coming up that hasn't seen that shit. So
but
we're just gonna put a
just
Star
because
Wars
somebody
stick.
hasn't seen North by Northwest
Mm-hmm.
doesn't
Uh-huh.
mean you can't make it again and not just be a regurgitation of what happened.
It is a regurgitation of it. Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
Well, okay, so here's the argument I'll make, and I remember my dad making this argument when he was picking on movies that I was watching. Right? It's like these are remakes of things that I saw.
Sure.
Now, it's not just that they're repackaging it in a new or inventive way. Okay. The other thing is that what we have now is we have way more access to media than ever before.
Sure.
And that means that traditional media has to double and triple down on things that they think will sell. And that means if I have a license, I go license, right? If I have a known product, okay, I get this much out of Star Wars because that's the only thing people are going to see in the theaters, right? But if you scrape the billion other services out there, you will find fantastic art out there, right? Very original, very unique stuff. But that is what you're talking about is the loss of the medium range blockbuster, right? Because either you're going to go there to see Top Gun 2, not Top Gun 1. They wouldn't make Top Gun 1 now. You're going to go see Top Gun 2. You're going to see Buzz Lightyear, which is a spin-off of a movie that has 4 movies.
Right,
Okay?
yeah.
Star Wars Quadrillion, Jurassic whatever.
Jurassic whatever.
Marvel, whatever.
Marvel whatever,
Marvel,
right?
whatever.
Okay?
Marvel rinse and repeat.
That's what you're going to go to the theater for, right? But you wouldn't go to see like a mid-range, like I got to tell you, like at this point in 2022, the original RoboCop wouldn't have gotten enough traction because it was an Orion release. It wasn't that big. It was Paul Verhoeven as a director who people worship now. I like him, but he's not as smart as people like make him out
he's
to
not.
be.
He's stupid smart.
He is stupid smart.
Yeah.
Absolutely, right? How do I know? Because I've watched the other movies.
All of them. Yeah.
Okay? The same guy that makes Showgirls also makes Starship Troopers, and you have to judge people by their other works, right? But nobody's going to go see Total Recall, right? Because they're not even going to make it. That's a mid-level blockbuster, right? It's not a high budget.
But that would be like a Netflix movie.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. That's a good
Exactly.
point. Yeah.
Because they have all sorts of stuff on Netflix that's exactly that mid-range.
Amazon Prime. You're going to find all sorts of different... Watch
But you
them.
still also find, top quality stuff on
Yeah.
streaming as well too.
But you don't find them at the theater
You
anymore.
won't go to the theater for it.
Yeah,
They won't show it. They want to show Lightyear.
On every
Yeah.
theater. Because it is just like...
see, I don't know what you're trying to get at here, because you have to throw in the pandemic to completely shake up the whole concept of theater.
Movie theater.
Yeah, because we still had theater and then streaming, and there was some little bit of crossover, but then you had pandemic come along, and then all of a sudden you were Black Widow was streaming, even though there was lawsuits over that and stuff, and people stopped going to theater because we didn't want to be around anybody else, and so you have this advent of theaters starting to just come back, like. And the way you bring it back is you don't bring it back through, Hidden Figures movies. You bring it back through Jurassic Park and Top Gun, the movies where it's like, well, if you don't see it on the big screen, when you're flying in a jet,
You're missing.
you're missing the visceral experience. So we need to bring you back to the theater.
Just to get you in the door.
Yeah, because if I go see Hidden Figures in the theater, I am not missing anything versus if I just see it at home.
True.
If I go to Top Gun in the theater versus at home, I'm getting a much bigger experience. And so you have this artificial hiccup in society where the pandemic basically eliminated the prospect of the theater. Now you can argue that it was going away because I can buy big ass 80-inch TV screens for $1,000. I can sit at home and stream every fucking movie, so I don't necessarily need to go to the theater.
Get popcorn for free or
Popcorn
all
for
that
free,
stuff.
food for free.
You get
I can drink at
$100
home.
Bathroom break.
I can do
Yeah.
that. So you have these competing interests that all of a sudden, when the pandemic hit, just flushed all that away. And now the theater is trying to bring people back. And the idea is why? Why am I going to even bother going to the theater? Because I can do this exact same thing at home right now for a lot cheaper, and I don't have to fucking go get cooties from other people.
Well, and not commit to it too, so it's really easy to skip on like Netflix, where if I go to like, oh, this is a 2.5 hour commitment to the theater, if I get 15 minutes into it and say fuck this, then I'm walking out in front of everybody. Whereas on Netflix, it's like, nah, fuck this.
Yeah. I can just pull out my phone and play on my phone while the rest of the movie plays.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna yell at me.
And so you're trying to recapture. You're trying to recapture something as opposed to put something on the screen that's cinematically, theatrically qualitative. You're more interested in like, what can I do to put you in the seat to justify you even coming back?
So you're trying to turn the theater experience into something that's qualitatively different than just the content.
Yes.
Okay.
And so again, a movie like Hidden Figures doesn't do that. A movie like Jurassic World, a movie like Top Gun, has that better.
They checked out those boxes.
Especially now when you can do the
Yeah.
D9 seats that move you around and give you more.
Well, yeah,
than
like
at
it's like
home.
10 years ago, the idea of a seat that would vibrate with every like subwoofer hit is fucking ridiculous because it'd be like that's why you're in the theater.
Right.
You know, you don't need that because you don't have the sound system at home.
But now you do.
But now you do.
Now the screen doesn't do. And now, and then you have this diametric difference between, are you going to go, I mean, D9 doesn't do anything for the English patient. Like, I'm not sitting in the seat. You know, you're like, whoa,
It's so emotional. It's high. Yeah, it's kind of low.
but it
Get an
does.
English patient. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So at this point, do theaters start becoming the
Even more of what you're
location
talking about.
of the grandiose and almost absurd?
No, it's the word you're looking for is spectacle. That's all
Right,
it is,
yeah.
right?
But I mean, do the theater become the home of simply the blockbuster, and that's it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you lose the Green Miles, you lose the Hidden Figures, you lose the English Patients. Those are gone.
Oh yeah.
So
Those are Netflix.
Those are Netflix. Those are
Netflix,
Amazon. Those are everything.
Disney.
The Top Guns and the Twisters and everything.
Transformers.
That's what's on the screen.
Yeah.
Look, I can give you
Independence
precedent.
Day.
This
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
this particular model, we've seen it before. Okay, and this is just something from my generation that I got to watch. Like, you go to the movie theater right now. What are the two things that are almost always guaranteed to be attached to a movie theater?
Gum in the smell of rotten soda.
Popcorn and soda.
Okay, you're talking food, right? So we're talking about, yes, you're talking about concessions, and the other part that's usually going to be connected is an arcade. Now, I'm putting this to you, and this is why I'm going to say this. When you go to an arcade, do you see games with joysticks and buttons? No. Okay? You don't. You see games with guns. Okay? You
True.
No, I know.
the ones you pick
dance
up in the
floors
hall.
and all
And,
that
yeah,
shit,
floors.
yeah.
And here's the
The
thing:
what?
is you see games with like attachments, guns, or an air hockey team.
Motorcycles.
Correct.
Yeah, things
Now,
you don't have at home.
That's
Yeah.
exactly it. Is that the actual home hardware outclassed arcade hardware, where that was not true from 1970 to about 2004. Okay.
Right.
So at that point, it was, so what's going to bring you to an arcade? Well, gimmicky crap that you can't get at home.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about if that's how you want your arcades, great. Yeah, you can sit there and dump a buck into this and shoot like, I don't know, deer,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
For a little
This
bit.
shotgun's actually got a pump on it.
Exactly. That is your version of movies at the
I'm
theater.
gonna slam fire this thing.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We see this model. You cannot go. They have.
Yeah.
You go in the back. There is one Pac-Man plus Galaga machine,
Right.
and that is charming, right? But there is
Well, avant-garde at that point. Yeah.
there's no diversity of game. It is all just either drive this, or shoot this, or play air hockey.
Or it's your VR headset thing or something
Exactly.
like that. Yeah.
Right? That's
Yeah.
what the theater is. It just got accelerated
Where you
via
get tickets
COVID.
out of this.
Yeah,
The
okay.
tickets are
Tickets,
massive.
tickies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Skee ball, whatever it is.
Oh no,
The-
it's even
No,
video
it is
games.
video
The games
games,
are
yeah.
actually give you tickets
Yeah.
now.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's not new.
Like you can go, like they got the fishing, like there's fishing ones, and you get them, and then it spits out tickets based upon how that.
Shit.
It's all or you can even just play the game, and depending how far you get, it'll spit
Yeah,
out
yeah.
And then
tickets.
you go like take them up to the counter
your
and
prize.
get shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the model of movies. They're and I would argue that with
Is
video
that a
games,
bad thing though?
it's horrible.
It's just the evolution.
Really?
It's horrible.
Why? Because
would you rather
Yeah,
replace
yeah.
those all with Galaga machines?
Or why wouldn't you rather just play it at home?
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I think that's the question. Is like, is it a bad thing that movie theaters become the spectacle spot
Yes. No, and this is hold on.
versus like, all right,
All right. Okay. Well, it's just you were asking me before, so I'm just going to finish on that. Why? Because the difference was you went to the theater for a shared experience, not just with you or with your immediate group. Okay. The whole thing is that you are there in the crowd. Okay. And when you're watching The Empire Strikes Back for the first time, everybody in the crowd goes nuts.
That's a spectacle, though.
But it's not. Here's the thing: you
It's
get
just not
that
as
with
many of them.
you get that with Empire Strikes Back, but you'd also get that when you went to see other movies. You would get that when you go see The Predator. You would get that when you. It's not all just
But
action.
Predator's
you're
a
not,
spectacle.
you're not getting that from
You're not getting it from
English
Forrest
Patient
Gump
or
or
any of
You would get it
or-
from Forrest.
No.
People would laugh their ass. You're talking about the big moments, the big heartfelt moments. Look, Forrest Gump was at its time. It was kind of an art film. Believe it or not,
Well,
for
then it's
Zemeckis,
kids'
that would be an
movies.
art film.
then it's kids movies because that's what you get. That's where you're gonna get that kind of reaction.
Yeah, that's
is
true.
the kids movies.
Yeah.
I get it.
Everybody saw Frozen. Yeah.
Or you're all laughing at the jokes because the kids are laughing, which gets the
Yeah.
adults to laugh because now it's okay.
Right. But the whole thing is that all spectacle, okay, wasn't just spectacle wasn't the only thing that formed the cornerstones of basically like shared experiences. Okay. The problem with diversifying this, which again, the art is better, okay, but Star Wars was something that everybody knew in 77. Okay. You can ignore it now and be fine. Right? It's like you haven't seen Star Wars? Nah.
Is that a
okay.
problem?
But now it's the,
No,
the
it's-
latest thing on YouTube. Did you see
Right,
that? Did it get
yeah.
sent to you? Did you see it? Did you
By
see?
age, I would
Right.
say.
Yeah. So that's what the new generation is.
Well, that
gonna
was the
do.
same thing back in '77, man. I don't think you had too many 60-year-old people going to see fucking Star Wars at that point in time.
Well, you did.
I guess, but
Because they
it was because it was one of like 6 things that were actually playing.
it
You
would get
know.
held over. Back then,
Yeah.
like you had a theater with maybe 4 screens, sometimes 2. Dude, back then, like Dirty Dancing would play for an entire summer because it kept raking
Sure,
in
yeah,
money.
yeah.
They would keep that as long as it was playing, right?
Yeah.
How big was
Yeah, but then I had
Well,
three
that and
channels
getting
on
the
TV.
canisters were
Right.
that
You
expensive.
didn't have choices.
Yeah, you didn't really have that many
I mean,
choices.
I guess I go to the question of, like, I see what you're saying. Where it's kind of fun, where like I'm watching some, like watching Top Gun. I'll go to Top Gun. Watching Top Gun with the crowd around me was kind of fun because we all joined in on the
Yes.
excitement. But I have to admit, if I'm gonna watch like Hidden Figures,
you're really harping. I liked that movie.
I do like that movie.
well, and I keep going to because it's a great movie because it's a fantastic movie, but it's not in any way a spectacle. It's a very substantive flick.
Yeah.
That has no ooh, 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 moments to it.
No jokes.
No jokes. Well, there's a couple
But
funny
they're
little
subtle.
quips, but it's nothing where I would watch and be like, I needed and enjoyed. The experience was so much better because other people around me saw it at the same time. Like I'm not seeing.
Like right now, Downtown Abbey 2 or
Yeah.
whatever is in the theater. Who's gonna go watch that?
You know, I mean, yeah, and you could do that with lots of things, like Pride and the
Saw the
Prejudice,
first one.
and
Yeah.
you
Well,
could do.
diehards, yeah.
Right, but I mean, you're not going like.
But I
Are
guess
you
it
going
goes,
there for the crowd if you're one of those people that's a diehard? Unless
Yeah.
you bring your
Absolutely.
friends.
You
Yeah,
absolutely
but you don't expect a full theater on something like that.
So
You-
it's just
you're
gonna,
looking
so
for the-
then it's gonna
It's
die.
like showing up at the Renaissance Festival. You don't
Yeah, so
expect to see
that's
your
exactly
best
what's
friends
gonna
there.
happen to it.
Just the people you invited.
well, okay. So the
but it's the fact I see it with others
Change that movie.
necessarily meaningful in that regard.
yes, okay. You're wearing a jersey, right? Okay. Television does a way better job of showing sports than the live arena ever could. Why do you go to a sports game when you can watch
the
a
crowd.
far superior product
Certainly.
presentation?
But that's
you eat,
very-
you go to the bathroom,
that's
you don't have
very
to pee in a
special.
trough.
But that's very spectacle because I intend to. And I'm wearing a sports jersey, and I went to a bar tonight to watch the Avalanche play, specifically to be around people to enjoy the entertainment with.
Mhm.
But if I'm not watching a spectacle, if I'm watching Hamlet on the movie theater
Yeah.
screen, that
But that is spectacle to me.
Is it?
But you would do it. You'd rather go there on your own.
Look, if I thought any of you guys were dorky enough to be like, oh man, Branagh Hamlet, guys, clear off your Thursday. You guys wouldn't give two shits.
But
It's
it's
spectacle
not
to
about
me.
the community of.
Well, wait a minute. That's unfair because I love Hamlet. I love fucking. I love Shakespeare, and I would totally fucking enjoy
You'd
that.
see, you'd watch Kenneth Branagh's version.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure.
It's
I already
long.
have.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I've watched Kevin Kline's version, which is actually fucking fantastic.
Well,
I
agree.
Yeah,
but that's
but that's not a movie. If I go to in a theater, I need to see it in the theater. If I watch it with two friends, that's the most I would need from that.
And you're doing it from your house where you have it set
Interaction.
up, and your friends and buddies are there, so you don't need the theater.
Well, and then it moves into because I like to discuss it afterwards with you.
absolutely. Yeah.
But Joe Schmo over here in the seat next to me, I
Couldn't care less about his
give a
opinion.
fuck about.
Yeah, you're not gonna go chest.
And there's no, we're not cheering or like chest bumping or screaming or big laughing at
Cap
any
did
part.
not
of the
just
play.
pick up the hammer, and the crowd goes crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Molinar didn't just fly into fucking Cap's hand and be like, "Oh shit," you know. I mean,
Totally understand.
So
And
it is.
so that- I
and
guess the
theater
question is-
for that.
the theater's more for the roller coaster ride, and the aquarium is more for the intellectual. Oh, isn't that
aquarium.
fucking cool?
That's a cool fucking fish. Yeah.
And can't I get the aquarium at home?
Well, yeah. Look, just to go back to the previous days here. Look, we have I don't even know if it's still open, but for example, downtown, that's where Kimball's Twin Peaks was, right?
Yeah.
And
No,
so
it's still there.
It's still
I
there?
go to
Okay.
it quite
Yeah.
often.
Okay, I didn't even know it was still. I didn't know if it survived COVID, but
No, it did actually.
It did, and they played.
And
it
actually,
the
they
whole time.
revamped it. It's actually
Yeah.
really nice inside.
okay. I used to go down there all the time because that was also the I don't want to say it like this, but it was kind of like the counterculture theater at
It
the
was
time.
the avant-garde theater.
Yeah.
I mean,
It still
had-
is. Yeah.
And well, that was part of the reason that you went there,
Sure. Yeah.
and you went there to be with that crowd.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You're still seeing a movie, and you're going to there to look. I mean, that's that.
No, I watched The Darkest Hour there. I watch, what's his place play Winston Churchill.
Oh, Gary
Oldman.
Oldman.
Yeah,
Gary
that
Oldman
was
was
good.
Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
And that was not a movie that was crowd enjoyment. We're not doing
You
the
don't need
wave.
the seat.
We're not doing the wave, and we're not screaming and cheering and shit. But I went there for that. But I will say I went there for that, not to be inundated by crowd experience. I could have enjoyed the same thing at home
Why did you?
because it wasn't on at home. It was only in the theater at the time, and I wanted to see it.
And you wanted to see it now.
Yes.
Right. So the only other alternative at that point was that you see it now or you have to wait.
Yes.
That's the other part. I wouldn't call that a spectacle, but that would be an exclusivity.
But my
Right.
thought is, if The Dark Tower would have been on Netflix at the time when I had it,
Netflix.
I would
it
have
is.
just watched it at home.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, this is part of the distribution thing is if it's worth enough. Look, that's how a lot of those kind of movies would take off is they wouldn't have a huge opening weekend, right? But then word of mouth would come in on a smaller movie and say you have to go see this, right? And then people would go in there and then you're seeing it with that crowd, that kind of thing. Shit, I mean, I can't. Obviously, there's still, room for midnight showings of Rocky Horror Picture Show and everything like that. So, I mean, there's unique experiences
But
that
see,
you
that
have.
would be a
from-
spectacle. Everybody dresses up, and
you're
you go
supposed to
have
talk
fun,
to
and
the
you sing the
screen,
songs.
yeah, you do. Look, there used to be a theater down on Hancock. I don't remember the name. Okay, this was not a great theater, not a great crowd.
Hancock.
Is that what it was called?
Yeah, it was Hancock Station.
Something like that. Okay,
It was. It was on Hancock.
this was
Yeah.
our quote unquote most diverse theater in town, and I went with some buddies. We went to go see The Scorpion King down there. That movie sucks ass.
God, yeah. That
But-
was terrible.
You were expected to yell during this movie.
Well, see, now that's cool. Though. But again, that moves into the spectacle. I guess
was it.
I guess where I'm getting with this is like is the movie experience moving into being spectacle? So if you go to it, it's to be with the crowd and laugh and to watching the Rocky Horror Picture Show. We're all dressed up and singing along with it. We're all enjoying Tom Cruise flying in an F-18 and go, oh! Versus when you move into more mundane is not the right word, but more calm-based movies
Yeah, I watched it.
that you don't really have that though there.
Well, sometimes you feel like kind of. So, like, here's the thing that I see that's different about it now is now that the theater actually has to draw you in. Back in the day, you're kind of forced to go to the theater just based upon the fact that it was like, well, it's only playing here and it won't be out on VHS for like fucking 7 months.
And I have to see it.
You know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I have to see it. But it also felt like a forced experience.
Yes.
Where it's like, well, fuck, if I'm going to see this, I got to see it here. And I got to go fight everybody for a goddamn seat. And I got to, like, you know, sit in a seat that's been barfed on 3 times today already. You know, kind of thing. And then, like, as soon as that became not an issue, like people like me were like, well, fuck that, I'm not going there.
Right.
You know, like, I can pull it up on Netflix or Amazon Prime this afternoon or HBO.
Right.
You know, like, okay, so, like, it's not a forced experience. But what you're talking about with, like, Rocky Horror Picture Show and, like, you know, some of the more avant-garde places like Kimball's and stuff like that, it was like one of those things. It was like, well, no, I want to go there, you know? And so it wasn't a force thing. It was a pull thing.
Sure.
You know, it was like, it was completely like,
But
yeah.
I guess my question is now is what causes that pull?
Oh, probably a community that surrounds those movies and stuff like that, you know? Or, like, you definitely have people. FOMO, yeah, you definitely have that. But even if it wasn't like, I mean, shit, man, I remember going to, like, certain things where they do re-releases on something. It was like, oh, fuck, they're going to punch out Jaws again or E.T. or something like that.
I mean,
And you're like,
watch
oh, fuck
Princess
yeah, I want
Bride
to see it in
at
the
places.
theater. Yeah, you know, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But, like, it wasn't like this thing where you're kind of boxed into a corner. Well, if I want to fucking see it and, like, talk to everybody else about it, I better go see it right now. Like, me, legit, like, right now, like, even with, like, Jurassic World, is like, as soon as a review drops, I'm going to go look at it. You know, like, I'm not going to sit here and, like, you know,
I
like,
avoid the reviews.
I hit every review. You know, now I'll read the plot synopsis 10 minutes after it pops out. I don't care about, like, the, you know, the, like, oh, well, it's a spoiler kind of thing anymore.
Really?
I'm completely flipped on that one now.
If they say it's a bad movie, do you still want to go see it?
Fuck no.
Sometimes.
If I'm interested in it.
Who says it's a bad
Put it
movie?
that-
His
yeah,
reviews.
who-
If your reviews that you're reading all say,
Depends on
Who's reviewing?
Yeah,
Critics
exactly.
or
I don't
Yeah.
know, whatever you're reading. You're
I don't
the
know,
one
man.
doing it.
I'll make my own judgments. So, like, I read the plot synopsis of Jurassic World Dominion. I was like, no. I do not need to waste my money. You know, I do not need to waste my time, man. So, but if you actually have a really cool, like, it was like, oh, that looks interesting. Let me go check that out. Then I'll go see it. You know?
Well, you
So,
won't go see it. You'll see it from your house.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll pay for it. Let me put it that way.
Well, but then, so this is getting back to my point where the theaters have become more of an esoteric or more of a
you have to want to go to the theater.
But you had to want to go before.
No,
Yeah,
because
you know.
before when the movie would end, it would be months before
yes.
It would.
it came out.
Yeah.
So like I'm not going to
if-
see Dances with Wolves for 8 months unless I go to see it. in the
Right.
theater.
So if it was
Yeah.
a good movie, your friends went and saw it. If you didn't go see it in
Yeah.
the movie, they could talk for months.
Or
about
even if
this
somebody
movie, and
told
you
me
have
that
no
it had
chance.
actually a good story behind it and stuff, yeah, fuck it. I'll go pay my $7
Yeah.
to go to the theater, you know?
No,
kind
I
of
mean
thing,
the whole idea of the theater at the time for the non-spectacle movie was it's a good movie that you want to see, and you're not going to be seeing it for the next 8-9 months.
Well, on top of that, you had to
unless
pay
you go
for
to
the
the theater.
and on
Yeah,
top of
and
that,
then you
you'd
have-
have to pay for the tape or the DVD.
Sure.
You
Yeah,
know,
or you have to go to
so-
Blockbuster and
Blockbuster,
rent
yeah.
Or
it.
you go rent it, yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
but-
stuff like that. And so if I'm going to rent it for $4, I might as well go see it in the theater for $7 right now. Yeah.
But friends are talking about it, and it's a water
Yeah.
cooler thing, so it's like, well, I
Yeah.
need to go see it in the theater.
Now it's you can wait 2 days.
But
Exactly.
that's what you're talking about. You know, the specific aspect of the model here that you're discussing, okay, is because of that setup, because of that whole version of, yes, you may have to wait 6 months to 9 months for this to come out on video or to be rented. Okay, what that allowed was you have, in the part of the structure is still the same, is here are our tentpole movies, right? We expect our big blockbuster, we expect to use these movies to make money to finance these other films. And we're going to hope that these other films that we release, maybe one of them catches on and we have 300 times profit on it, right? If you're only playing it safe, if your whole goal is to make Marvel movie, to make money, to make next Marvel movie, right? That's not the same model, because that's how, look, Dirty Dancing shouldn't have been the hit that it was.
Sure, but
It's fine, but it was a risk movie where they said, all right, we're going to throw this out there. This is a movie that's supposed to appeal to, guys and women, maybe? I don't know. I don't know who the audience is. It's got Swayze in it. He's not really kicking ass. He does a little bit, right? But
No, he doesn't.
well, he acts like he talks tough a little bit.
No, he talks tough, but
Right.
he never actually.
No, it's a Roadhouse, but I mean, it's like
No, it's by far not. Right?
no, yeah, and it's not Red Dawn. It's
barely
not.
Ghost.
Yeah, yeah, that's the whole thing. But it takes off. It's huge. It takes off and it's huge. It makes,
Sure.
and that's because you have that diversity. And yes, you have to go to the theater to see it. That's
See, I mean, but not being in the theater doesn't mean it can't take off and be huge.
It's not going to happen anymore. You can't have surprises anymore.
no, not really.
Not at the actual box office.
You can't take the risk
Because it
anymore.
won't show up there.
Yeah.
yeah, and I can't. It's not the same thing if I say, "Did you watch a ghost story on Amazon Prime? It's got Casey Affleck and Rooney Mara." Even if I have all three of you watch it, that's not like this is a runaway hit.
Well, and you can't publish those numbers the same way.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't
They don't tell you that.
show
No,
like
I mean not at the box office.
yeah, so I mean,
yes.
when you can just look and see, oh, that's a box office hit. Well, I gotta go see it. Well, the Netflix is just like, hey, here's the top 10. Does anything interest you? And you're like, oh, okay, maybe click.
But again, I guess I ask, what's the point? So you're just talking about like
You're losing the
just-
surprise.
the strange metric then. But are you losing the surprise? Like
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening in Stranger Things because I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to watch soon, and there's a surprise there.
Don't listen to the last episode of the podcast.
There's a podcast. For
No, I
Stranger
know. I
Things?
actually
Oh.
shut the fucking thing off.
Oh,
you
good.
kept talking
Okay,
about
yeah,
like,
sorry.
This, like, I hit the fast forward button a couple times. I'm like, I'm going to do you guys keep talking about this shit.
You didn't go into in depth at all
But
because I
not
haven't
really,
seen
no.
it.
You didn't go in depth, but you started going in depth enough. Where I'm like, I don't want to listen anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, it wasn't
there
a,
was a fast forward, and
it wasn't a surprise.
But I mean,
element,
but you can. I guess, but to me, there's the you can have surprises on Netflix. You can have surprises on Amazon. You can have all of those things that exist.
But it won't be at a movie theater.
But it's just simply the theater experience. That's all I'm talking about. Not the metrics that movie companies get from it. It's from the audience point of view. What does the movie theater from here on in mean to the audience and people? Why do I go to the theater? I went to Top Gun because I wanted to see Tom Cruise flying an F-18 on a big fucking screen TV.
Yeah, okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I went to it in the theater. It's because I knew I would be missing out from a visceral experience if I just saw that on my TV at home. I will watch the movie again on my TV at home, but it won't be the same thing as watching it on the big screen. Dances with Wolves doesn't fucking matter if I see it on a
Yeah.
big screen or on a fucking 20-inch TV screen.
I don't.
I'm
count,
still
'cause I'll
getting
go.
what's up.
I don't count because I'll go for anything.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I
So-
just love going to the theater.
Well, and then
yeah,
that's the
that's
point
fine.
too.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like it does just simply going to the theater experience make up for that? Is that just also part of it? Because I'm with you. I actually like going to the theater. It makes it more.
An event.
When you're watching something at home, yeah, no, that's the best way to put it. It's an event. When you're watching something at home, you pull out your phone, you get up to go to the bathroom, you hang out a little bit, you look in the refrigerator. It can be something much more in the background.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go to the movie, you focused your attention like this is what I'm doing right now.
I
Yeah.
paid money to do this. I'm in it. Here we go.
Yeah.
Good, bad, whatever it is. Let's go.
Yeah.
but does that survive? Does that concept survive as a movie is still? Do we still have the idea that movies are an event? And it parlays into I read an article a long time ago, and it talked about everybody has a playlist for everything. So when I go running, I have a playlist. When I work out, I have a playlist. When I work, I listen to my headphones. I listen to music. And the theory behind it was we're listening to too much music that you've destroyed music. Like music doesn't mean anything to more because it's simply background noise to your life.
Yeah.
It's not a concert that you go to. It's not a record that you actually put on and sit in a quiet room and just listen to it. It's now just you have constant music going on. Whatever you're doing, it's always in the background. And have we turned, movies and TV entertainment into that, where the theater eliminates that? You have to. This is your focus. This is what you're paying attention to.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, there is. You're actually talking to two different points, right? And they cross because you're absolutely right. Okay, because the same thing I was talking about here. All right, you're crossing a couple of different things. The cultural impact of Star Wars, 1977. No, hold on.
Back to Star Wars.
It will never happen again.
No.
Okay, that can't. The same thing with. We will never have another Beatlemania. We will never have another Elvis, right? And part of what you're talking about when you're talking about music,
I would disagree with that.
Yeah, I would too.
no, there will never be another Elvis.
Yes, there would.
Oh, no, not a chance.
You would.
Not a single popular. No way at
I'm not
all.
gonna write that one off, man.
No.
So I would actually say that you'd actually have to come up with something that's creative
What's
enough.
the definition of saying it?
Yeah, what's an
Good point.
Elvis?
Good point.
You are talking about a performer, okay, that changes the entire cultural landscape of society. Where whether you're a fan or not a fan, society is different because of this musical artist.
You don't
I
think
don't-
that could happen again?
Fuck no. Because, no, and just say it this way. Take anybody who has sold a bunch of records, the world is not different because of Beyonce knows. It's not.
Right, but it's not
Well,
supposed to happen every
Yeah.
pop hit.
You're
or
talking
whatever
about something every
It's
couple
something,
generations.
No,
man.
something new
So-
that shakes everything up.
But
Okay. Wait. I will. No. I'm gonna play the fence on this because I agree with both of you.
But what?
Here's my thing: is I do agree with you on that sense. I think a new Elvis is harder than previous.
Okay.
Because what Elvis did previously was new, and arguably there's very little new that could be left anymore in the world of music.
Well, it's
Like when you have the Beatles, when you have Elvis, when you have people who, when you're literally starting new genres and you literally starting new, I mean, like, oh, you shake your hips on TV, no one else could do that. I mean, he has a whole bunch of firsts.
he
That
does.
he's establishing, where in today's society I don't think you would have an artist that can really establish firsts anymore.
You can. Here's the thing. This is what I'm saying here. Okay. So you can establish first, and you can be huge. Okay. But much like Star Wars, it is huge that weekend, and Doctor Strange 2 will be huge that weekend.
It just
we
means
are
it
not.
wasn't that creative.
We're not talking about it now. Okay. You would still be talking about Star Wars in '78, but movies. You can look at their box office draw. Huge opening weekend, big second weekend, the drop off is
Dunzo.
like this.
Yeah.
Okay, there are no legs on movies. And what I'm saying with music is you can have a huge artist. Bieber can sell a whole bunch of stuff, right? But at the same time, the things that you're talking about with, like, there is no fucking way that at this point there would be people like talking about if Carly Simon came out, nobody would give a shit about You're So Vain. There would be no discussion about it. It's like, who's she talking about? Nobody cares. Nobody would be looking at Pink Floyd songs. It would still be out, but they're like, what does he mean by this? What are they? Remember back in the day when there would be a song that you all knew and you would be thinking about, shit, is Hotel California about the Church of Satan? Nobody would care. You would care for one weekend, right? But it wouldn't be ongoing.
Is that just because there's so many more options now?
Exactly. It's huge this weekend. If it's not a cultural touchstone, right? If it's a dude, nobody would give a fuck about listening to. It's like this album syncs up with The Wizard of Oz. Who cares? Nobody cares. You would be listening to Drake next weekend. You have huge stars for 2 weekends. Then it's it. There's no subtext to this because you don't need it. There's no. That's what I'm talking about.
So
The cultural
it's not
experience. It has to be huge.
It's not that there can't be an Elvis. It's just that everybody's now an Elvis.
Exactly.
I mean, you have a world where you have a gajillion artists to choose from. You have a gajillion methods to find and listen to music. You have a gajillion books to read. You have a gajillion TV shows you can watch. You have a gajillion movies that are out there now.
Yes, but what that means is the individual entertainment is far superior because it's diversified. But it means as on a cultural level,
It's more superficial.
it's gone. It's gone. It's disposable.
But there's new stuff all the time.
There-
Like if
all
you
the
just
time.
so that I mean
Yeah.
the stuff
There's
that
al-
my
but the,
kids
argu-
watch.
but the
it's like,
argument
why
what
are
you're
you-
talking about is there's almost too much new stuff. There's no Elvis because there's Elvis and everybody else falls along lines now.
Yeah, there's you don't have to. I remember those fun days of like listening to those albums, and I mean albums front to back, and saying, "What is this about?" And talking about that with other. You have to listen to this. I need your opinion on this,
Right?
right?
You're right. I mean, listen to one thing today, and then tomorrow you're listening to something else.
Whereas, yeah, if the market says
Then we
that,
almost have a society that makes you have to be up on your toes and not listening to old. You have to you have to know the new stuff immediately.
absolutely, and on top of that, much like with movies, okay, you're not going to get that extended depth with music. Instead of recording an album, you are recording to sell individual tracks,
Yeah.
right? And that's not an artistic journey. Whereas, shit, it used to be, here's the rule. You set this on side A, and you do this, and then your B-sides, here are your thinker songs. And sometimes those take off, and they're huge. But you would never listen to a B-side now. It's all just essentially, look, and I can tell you, like, for the mainstream artists, here are the 10 guys that write all the songs. Here are the 10 guys that write all the songs. It all sounds samey because it is.
It's all, yeah. I mean, it's almost it's a comedy of riches at that point. We just have so much, nothing stands out.
And you just
Nothing can.
or it's just a real quick flash and then
yeah.
Yeah.
And you just bring around certain people because they've had work before. There's this dickhead in Hollywood named Alex Kurtzman. Okay, you've seen his name on movies that you hate, but he's on everything, and he writes the same shit. He's never read a book in his life. Okay, he writes
proud of it.
he writes science shit, but he doesn't know how science works, and he's fucked up everything in Star Wars and Star Trek and Transformers. Right? He's just like, we need this beat at page 100. We need this beat at page 76. Right?
It's the formula at that point.
That's it.
Yeah.
Does he know what he's doing? No. Because every movie is, what if bigger enterprise?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Bigger
The
black
Dreadnought Star
enterprise.
Destroyer.
Yeah. It's got to sound really mean too, like.
What if we take Mel Brooks' joke about the ship too big to make it to the movie and actually make it legitimate? Like if I walked, the movie would be over before I got here.
Yeah.
No, and I get it. I think we live in a hyper-saturated market where, well, I mean, what we're doing now, there's a podcast everywhere. There's
Right.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
Everybody can input
everybody's got a
anything
podcast.
into it
Everybody's
right
got
now.
a song. Everybody's got a movie. Everybody's got a book.
Which goes back to last time around, where is there a value in gatekeeping? Is there a value in keeping people out?
I don't. Yeah. No. See, I'm gonna take the other tack on that one. Man.
Yeah.
So, like, the deeper the ocean, like, really, when it comes out to it, then that just goes to speak about anything that actually does stand out from it. So, like, all right, so fine. Hollywood's become like basically this cesspool that pumps out like extremely predictable things that just sets the stage for whatever's next. So, look forward to it. It's always worked out that way, man. Elvis didn't come out of nothing, so he came out of like droll.
I don't know. There's a movie out there right now, so
Huh?
Yeah, it's a
Well, fuck it,
Salt
man.
Lake's
Just,
movie.
maybe you got to take another 10 years before everybody's like thoroughly sick of it, and then like, then
there's
something
no
that.
patience for that.
I don't know.
I mean, eventually you're gonna get to the point in time where it's like, fuck, I've seen this movie like 8 times. I mean, I'm fucking there. So, and so like it's gotta take something really like cool that you all like, oh fuck, Pat, you gotta go see this movie. Kind of thing before I actually go out
I
and see
say it and you don't follow.
I don't pay attention to you because you go watch everything, man. So you really, really got to get on my radar, man. You're like,
But
Pat, you
true, like,
got to see this
I mean, like-
motherfucker in the theater.
Like I'm done with seeing like the musician movie where it's like
Yeah.
I start as nothing and then I become big and everybody loves me and then I get into drugs and I have personal problems and I struggle with it and I fall down and then all of a sudden I got brought back up again and I live happily ever after.
Yeah, I'm
It's
telling you, Jeff and I have been talking about this. The kind of movie that I want to see is the John Wayne movie now.
Right.
This guy's badass in scene 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
And like just
No.
fucking America. I would go pay money for that. See that right now,
And
man.
it was funny because I mean I was thinking about this earlier because I was watching Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, and one of the things that to me, first of all, like Star Trek Next Generation had going with it was, first off, every show is its own microcosm.
Absolutely.
Beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
It's not this constant stream of like just middle over and over. And it's just middle until
Everything's middle.
until they cancel the show and they like shove in some horrible ending at the very end. And so it's like it's never really all that great. But Star Trek Next Generation was like just middle ending and beginning, middle, and ending. And it might be fast, you may be like, oh, they wouldn't have solved it that quick. Fuck it, that was great. That 1 hour, you had beginning, middle, end, done.
Except,
And very little carryover to next things.
except it was hype as shit when every now and then you saw those blue words that said to be continued. Like,
Oh,
yeah, it's like,
dude.
Yeah. And then it went into one more show.
You get
And then
one
that
of
was it.
those.
Yeah,
You
two,
get one of
two
those.
is smack.
That was it.
at the end of the
two
show,
shows.
at the
end of the
beginning
season,
yeah.
yeah.
But then one thing that also fascinated me about it is everybody on the show in Star Trek Next Generation, the entire crew, you trusted. And unless like an alien life form invaded one of their bodies,
That happened.
many times, actually quite frequently.
You remember when Troy broke Worf's wrist?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Really easily too. You're like, oh, yeah.
Only one person on the ship could do that.
But no, you trusted everybody on the show. Whereas nowadays, and it's funny because I watched Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and I keep waiting for the plot line where one of them's devious and hiding shit and is on drugs and is fucking other people
He's a
and
secret
whatever.
capitalist.
And it never keeps happening.
Picard was like, where
dude.
everybody was on
And
drugs.
dude,
everybody
Picard was like the misfits of, like, hey, we're all a bunch of fuck ups and we somehow like managed to like save the world.
Dude, you're talking about my fundamental problem with that first Star Trek movie that they
Which one?
the first Star Trek movie, the
Chris Pine one?
2009, I think it was.
The remake with J.J.
yeah.
Abrams. Yeah, okay.
Because the first thing to do is like, well, you know how like Kirk like worked his way through this thing? He was just there when the captain died.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
He just happened to step into it, yeah.
It was like, where's your 10 years of service, sir?
Right. I don't have it. Just got out of Academy. I'm captain. Woo!
I mean, a bar fight, and all of a sudden I'm a badass.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually in this calamity they're like, well, we weren't going to promote him, but he has a superpower called autism, right? And that helps him.
Show me your SAT scores.
F,
Yeah, F,
A.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, you're on the spectrum. But no, I keep waiting for one of the crew
We don't like to be touched.
to like backstab somebody or have a problem, and they never do. And it's cool because it's like, okay, you're getting back to Star Trek where it's like
Right.
I can trust all the crew members. we deal with
You like
existential.
trusting all the characters?
Yes, very much so, because nothing does it anymore. Everything,
Alright.
I'm saturated with complete
Between all
distrust
of
of everybody in my fucking realm, and I keep waiting for it, and I'm so conditioned to one of these characters is going to be a piece of shit and it's fucking the others over, and I'm like, and it's not happening, and I'm like, oh, I'm so conditioned to it in the storytelling that you don't have a group of people that you can just, they're just good people who are like taking on the world. It's always like we're actually a bunch of pieces of shit.
You don't think they're just setting you up?
Oh, I constantly feel that way anymore, man.
Well, no,
Yeah,
and I
that's
still,
the point,
and
yeah.
Star
Which
Trek:
is-
Strange New Worlds, I totally think they're setting me up. I'm
Right.
still waiting
Right.
for one of them.
But maybe
to turn-
that's the excitement.
One of
of
them's
it.
like like doing like Romulan heroin, you know, and like I'm waiting for that. But I
Romulan.
actually think they are bringing it back to old school show that they're not. That's not going to be part of the thing. But I'm so conditioned that eventually
Gotta
one
be
of the
somebody,
crew is
so-
going to be a piece of shit and backstabbing and awful and mean and evil, and I'm like, this.
It's got it.
Oh, and they get like
my
some
my
like
problem with it is I'm saturated with, that's my mindset on any entertainment I've seen anymore.
Well-
It's cliche.
Let me jump in specifically on Star Trek. Okay, in Star Trek, those things that you talked about aren't supposed to exist in the Federation, because the Federation exists because they don't have those situations. That was the. You're telling me that these people voluntarily gave up money, right?
Right.
What the fuck are you talking about? Are you serious? No, these are people where, like, how many times in Next Generation would the ethical dilemma be, well,
I can't pay my mortgage.
well, and that's when Picard or Riker would say, like, that's crazy because in the 22nd century we went beyond mortgages, right? Or they would jump in. They'd be like, to some like other cast member would just be like, you know, I know what the law says.
What do you mean there's voter fraud?
Yeah, he was just like, I know what the law says, but I just don't want to rent a room to this guy. And then Picard, and that's when said like somebody preachy would jump in and say, like, you know, in the Federation we went beyond racism, 400 years ago, right? The whole society is contingent on these guys being in a quote unquote better place. But then you fast forward 20 years and they say, why is everybody on drugs?
Yeah.
You know, like, they say, like, all right, well, it's a better place. Is it?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Are you sure?
Help me out with this. Maybe I'll go join the Kardashians.
Yeah. Because it looks like dog shit, but just in the future.
Yeah.
But from like, I mean,
Really nice
from,
finishes around.
like
Right.
a rational point of view, because you had like the Star Trek Discovery came out, and it was
It's
just
not
like,
even well lit.
and it was the most like melodramatic soap opera crap. Everybody had problems and issues, and there was also part of me that was like, wait, dude, if you made it like to be on like the flagship starship,
Yeah.
shouldn't you have your shit together? You know,
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
Like, are you gonna really have all these? Like, are you really doing heroin and getting on fucking the Enterprise?
Didn't they
I mean,
screen you out?
yeah, this seems like this would have been like moved aside. a little bit.
Well, on top of it is like with all the cursing and stuff, it'd be like, don't talk like that on my bridge.
Right.
I'm gonna write you up.
Like, what's your problem? Get the fuck off of here. Yeah.
It's like, well, he wouldn't say that, but
Yeah.
he's like,
So they
that's
got
not,
Demerit, sir.
that's not becoming of an officer.
Right.
They got rid of random UAs. Just like,
I like a random UA in Star Trek. That'd be great. Like, Commander Riker, give me a UA.
oh,
I
fuck.
find that
Watch
when
him
we do
sweat bullets.
Yeah.
Everyone's urine is clean.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Was that your Picard? Yeah.
that's it. That's young Picard. I can't do fucking gravelly voice Picard now. Yeah.
You mean Patrick Stewart when he
Yeah.
played in Picard, whereas he didn't actually play Picard. He just played Patrick Stewart.
And good for him. It's like play myself. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But no, and it
It's
was.
like, you're not Picard. Like, okay, I'm gonna play Patrick Stewart. All right.
Yeah, let's talk about environmental issues then.
That's why I miss the old ways when you had like, when you had Worf the, Islamic samurai.
Right,
You know,
yeah. Worf the Barbarian. Yeah. It's like your people are so uncouth.
I know.
Fuck your people. So you can't say that on my bridge, sir.
You're right.
You're right.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know. But yeah,
All right,
that's
we got a
like,
minute.
I do not go swimming because women show skin at the beach. You know, that's kind of, it would be dishonorable.
It's
to-
like, yeah, off to training with you, sir. I'm gonna bust you down to shore duty for a little while until you're up to speed.
There was one episode where, like, didn't Picard actually say, like, I tolerate your point of view to as much as the law allows, or something like that, where he was this.
I don't
What is this,
remember
Alabama?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
that. Like
This was, I think,
like
it was,
the Jim Crow version of Star Trek. You're like,
yeah, because that wasn't that the episode where fucking Worf killed a dude on the Enterprise, and Picard was like, we don't do that here.
Oh, here it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not
Here
sure
we
I know
use
what
the
she's
potty.
talking about.
So I remember one episode where he's fighting. I think this was where he killed like the young Duras, and Riker jumps in and he's like, "Worf, no!" And Worf just still like knifes the shit out of him, and then Picard is like, so I know how you do things in Iran, but
In the Comanche. Yeah.
But in Western civilization,
Right,
we don't do that.
but in Virginia,
Yeah, we have due process.
Then we stuff the knife in your back.
Right, yeah. Well, or the needle, whatever.
right,
Right, yeah.
right.
We were a little bit more
I
civilized.
I
than
know
that
which
was.
character they'd make him now if they did that.
Oh, yeah.
He would say it's dishonorable to take the jabs.
Oh, yeah.
He would.
Yeah, yeah.
He would say to project, just to,
Right, well,
to not actually fight a disease head on is without honor.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So I will
Oh,
brooch
yeah.
no chance of myocarditis.
He would be an anti-vaxxer. Like,
Absolutely.
Like,
yes.
Who was it? I saw that. Like Justin Bieber's face is
Worf the
melting right now.
anti-vaxxer.
Yeah, Worf the anti-vaxxer. Yeah. I saw a picture of Michael Dorn the other day.
Yeah?
He looks great.
He does, yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
He looks
does.
much healthier than he was as Worf.
He's not wearing like 14 pounds of makeup.
I'm not sure if all of that was makeup, but yeah.
He actually has ridges.
Well, those were makeup, but yeah. So
He's got deformities, yes.
yeah,
He's got a head carapace.
He was the perfect Klingon.
yeah. Just some of the fluff around the
You're
middle.
in luck.
The casting call must have a box turtle on your
You're-
forehead.
Your deformity matches our
Yeah.
alien.
Not on my bridge.
I'm still not going to rent a room to him.
All right, we're at buck 30.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Any
So our cast, any last thoughts for the night?
Okay, game 1, Avalanche, 1-zip.
Woohoo!
A one down, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. Next game is on Saturday.
Saturday.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Okay.
It's 6
Oh.
o'clock too. Still like late.
Yeah.
Yeah. Evening game still.
Yeah, any closing thoughts? You, William?
That was my happy thoughts.
Yeah, I always love having a consumer's, and I do mean a consumer's opinion.
Well, what am I consuming now?
It's just like
Oh,
Media.
yeah,
Crap
you-
media.
you
Oh,
are-
I do. that. Proudly do.
One box of Stranger Things, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that box has been
You get two
pushed
for one.
aside
This
for
week.
the Obi-Wan. And... So, yeah.
Mr. Ryan?
Nah, I got nothing else.
Yeah, we got it all out.
That's
right.
done.
All right, I'm Pat.
I will.
Ryan.
Hitting the button.
Right.